just an absolutely crazy finish to a really crazy week. It is now 12 o'clock on the East Coast. About 14 hours ago in Boston. Well, I mean, as of yesterday, following the failures by the New York Post and then sort of in right-wing quarters of blaming the Boston attacks on a Saudi national, of putting a teenager, apparently a random teenager, on the cover of the New York Post. And that teenager has been doing everything he can at this point to make it clear that he is not a suspect, and he never was. Yesterday afternoon, or about 5 o'clock on the East Coast, the federal officials basically made public video of the two primary suspects in the Boston Marathon bombing. One had a white baseball cap, and he was suspect 2. One who appeared to be a little bit older and a little bit bigger had a black baseball cap. He was suspect number 1. Subsequent to that, we have learned that one of the iconic figures who was injured in the blast, the guy who some of you may have seen the really disturbing photo of him being wheeled away from the blast because he had lost both his legs. Apparently, as soon as he regained consciousness in the hospital, though he was heavily medicated, he wrote that he had seen the perpetrator, saw the bag, looked into my eyes. He apparently was the beginning of the search for federal authorities to search the videotapes to find suspect number 1, who then led them to suspect number 2 as they sort of reverse engineered the video. They released this video last night at 5 p.m. Around 10 o'clock, they released another photograph that was taken by one of the runners in the marathon. It was a high quality picture, which allowed you to zoom in and see suspect number 2, the guy with the baseball hat, far more clearly. Within about an hour, at about 10:30 last night, following a robbery of a 7-Eleven in the Central Square area, which is just across the Mass Ave Bridge, I would say maybe a mile from where the initial explosions took place. In Central Square, just if you go west on Boylston from where the explosions took place, you take a right, well, I guess, and you start to head northwest on Mass Ave, cross the Mass Ave Bridge into Cambridge. And then just drive into Cambridge, past MIT, into Central Square before you get to Harvard Square. There was a robbery at 7-Eleven, and about not even maybe a quarter mile away from there, from down to Kenmore Square, that is now heading sort of northeast in Cambridge, there was an MIT police officer who was shot. Subsequent to that, a car was carjacked, and then I guess there was some pursuit of this carjacked car into Watertown, where there was a standoff and a shootout with police authorities. These guys got out of the car, I guess, and attempt to throw a bomb at the police. Suspect number 2 with the white hat got into another car. His brother, who we now know is his brother, 26-year-old brother, was shot. And then the 19-year-old brother apparently, inadvertently, I think, ran over him. The guy had explosives on him of some form. They burned him. He was later pronounced dead at the hospital. Authorities believe they have isolated where this 19-year-old is hiding in some part of Watertown. They're going door to door now. They have isolated parts of the city. Meanwhile, what is really extraordinary is they have shut down the whole city. There is no public transportation. There is no taxi cabs. They have basically issued an order. I mean, I don't know what the legal force of this order is. It is not martial law, but it is somewhere between a warning and martial law, I guess. Essentially saying, I don't know the specific words right now, get cover or something to that effect. The governor basically said everyone should stay in their homes. So the streets of Boston are deserted. If you go out onto these streets, you necessarily place yourself in some form of suspicion. There is question as to whether or not there's a third accomplice. Authorities stopped a train, headed down to Connecticut. From Boston, they found nothing. There was an APB for a Massachusetts license plate SUV in Connecticut, but they have found that car in Massachusetts. It's unclear whether or not there's a third accomplice. These two guys, one was a 19-year-old, one is a 19-year-old, supposedly completely just about as close as you can be to an all-American kid, it seems like, in high school. Was the captain of the wrestling team, got a scholarship to go to UMass Dartmouth, was considered a great kid by everyone they knew. Now, he graduated, I guess, a year or two ago. From all accounts at this point, both brothers have been in the country since about 2002 or 2003. They were brought here with their parents. They were in Tajikistan, I believe it was, and they came over to this country. And they are of Chechen descent to the extent that that's relevant. The older brother apparently was trying to get on, or claimed he was trying to get on to the U.S. boxing Olympic team. He has said in the past, that he likes the USA, but he doesn't get Americans. He's not friends with any Americans. That's all that we know at this point.